On anticipe, quoi.
"20 Weird Facts About a Very Long Engagement 2004 You Didn't Know." Before we begin, understand this. A Very Long Engagement is not a war film. It is a story about someone who refuses to accept disappearance and turns waiting into rebellion. This is not about soldiers charging forward. It is about a woman standing still and forcing the world to answer her. This is a story about love against bureaucracy, memory against history, and belief against official truth. Let's begin. Fact 1. The film begins after the war, not during it. Most war films end when the fighting stops. This one starts there. The guns are silent, the papers are signed, the files are closed, and yet nothing feels finished. By beginning after the war, the film makes a quiet but brutal argument. War does not end when combat ends. It ends when the forgotten are accounted for, and that hasn't happened here. Fact 2. Mathilde is not searching for proof, she's rejecting authority. Mathilde is told the truth is settled. The army says her fiancé is dead, the records say the case is closed, the nation has moved on. Mathilde refuses all of it. Her investigation is not driven by evidence at first, it is driven by distrust of official certainty. The film positions authority as something that demands obedience, not accuracy. Mathilde chooses disobedience. Fact 3. Physical fragility is used to redefine strength. Mathilde walks with difficulty. She moves slowly. She depends on help. She is underestimated everywhere she goes. The film never tries to overcome this. Instead, it reframes strength entirely. While armies fail through force, Mathilde advances through patience, attention, and memory. Her power is not movement. Her power is refusal to stop. Fact 4. The battlefield is shown as administrative violence. The most horrifying moments in the film are not explosions, they are decisions. Court-martials, paperwork, orders signed without faces attached. Men are condemned not because they are guilty, but because they are inconvenient. The film exposes war as a system that kills efficiently by removing emotion. Bullets end lives. Bureaucracy erases them. Fact 5. Love functions as an investigative method. Mathilde does not interrogate like a detective. She listens. She notices hesitation. She remembers emotional details others discard. Her love is not romantic fantasy, it is precision. The film proposes something radical. When institutions erase people, love becomes a tool of historical recovery.
Fact 6. No witness in this film is fully reliable. Every person Mathilde meets remembers something different. Names change, dates blur, events contradict each other. The film never corrects these inconsistencies, because that is the point. War shatters truth into fragments. What survives is incomplete, but still meaningful. Mathilde doesn't look for perfect accuracy. She looks for overlapping pain. Fact 7. Memory is treated as emotional evidence, not data. This film does not treat memory like a recording. It treats it like a wound. People remember what hurt them and forget what didn't. Some exaggerate, some minimize, some protect themselves with silence. The film respects all of it. because emotional truth outlives factual certainty. Fact 8. The soldiers are punished for being inconvenient, not guilty. The condemned men at the center of the story are not executed for crimes. They are executed for disruption, for refusing orders, for surviving too long, for not fitting the system. The battlefield becomes a place where obedience matters more than justice. The film quietly exposes this. War does not punish evil, it punishes nonconformity. Fact 9. Women carry the war's memory when men cannot. Men fight, men disappear, men are reduced to files. Women remain. Lovers, mothers, caretakers, outcasts. They remember details the system ignores. Gestures, letters, tone of voice. The film suggests that history survives not through institutions, but through those forced to wait. Fact 10. Coincidence is treated as a clue, not an accident. Repeated symbols, strange connections, unlikely encounters. The film never dismisses coincidence. Mathilde believes patterns exist, even when logic refuses them. The story asks a quiet but dangerous question. What if meaning survives, even when proof does not?
Fact 11. The search slowly stops being about answers. At first, Mathilde wants to know what happened. Later, she needs to keep asking. The difference is subtle and dangerous. Her investigation becomes less about discovery and more about permission to continue living. Each clue keeps her moving forward, even when it hurts. The film never calls this obsession. It calls it survival. Fact 12. Hope in this film is physically exhausting. Hope does not comfort Mathilde. It drains her. Every lead revives pain. Every rumor reopens grief. Every possibility risks collapse. Yet she keeps going. The film presents hope not as optimism, but as endurance under emotional weight. Comfort belongs to those who stop searching. Mathilde refuses it. Fact 13. The war continues inside the survivors. Although the fighting has ended, the damage hasn't. Voices shake, memories fracture, silences stretch too long. The film refuses to separate wartime trauma from peacetime life. Peace only means the violence is no longer public. Privately, it continues. The investigation becomes a map of trauma still living inside people. Fact 14. There are no clear villains, only systems. No single character is blamed, not the officers, not the soldiers, not even fate. Everyone is partially trapped. The true antagonist is structure, a system that values efficiency over humanity. This makes the film uncomfortable because it denies the audience a target for anger. The tragedy becomes collective, not personal. Fact 15. Mathilde is changed regardless of the outcome. By now, Mathilde is not who she was at the beginning. She is sharper, more patient, and less fragile emotionally. Even if the truth never arrives, she has already transformed. The film makes a quiet claim. Searching changes you, even if you never find what you're looking for.
Fact 16. The ending withholds certainty on purpose. The film never hands you a clean answer. Not fully, not safely. Even when hope appears justified, certainty remains out of reach. This is not narrative indecision, it's compassion. The film understands that for those who wait, final answers can be more violent than uncertainty. Closure shuts doors. Possibility keeps them open. Fact 17. Ambiguity becomes a form of mercy. Most stories resolve doubt. This one protects it. Because Mathilde's survival does not depend on proof, It depends on possibility. Ambiguity here is not weakness, it is kindness. Some truths are too heavy to finalize. Some endings are too cruel to confirm. The film lets hope breathe. Fact 18. Love is shown as resistance to historical erasure. Mathilde's love does not rewrite history, it interrupts forgetting. By insisting on Manek's existence, she resists the way wars reduce lives to numbers and files. Romance becomes something radical, not sentiment, opposition. Opposition to silence, opposition to disappearance, opposition to the idea that history gets the final word. Fact 19. Survival is not the same as moving on. No one in the film truly moves on. They adapt, they endure, they carry. The film rejects the promise of healing. Instead, it shows survival as learning to live beside absence. Time does not erase memory. Peace does not cancel loss. Survival means remembering and continuing anyway. Fact 20. The final truth. This film is about waiting without surrender. This is the most important fact of all. A very long engagement is not about war, not about romance, not even about mystery. It is about refusing surrender. Waiting becomes action. Belief becomes defiance. Love becomes resistance. The film does not promise reunion. It promises dignity in refusal. A very long engagement doesn't shout, it doesn't reassure, it doesn't heal cleanly. It waits, with those history forgot, with those who couldn't stop loving, with those who refuse silence as an ending. If this documentary made uncertainty feel human, if it made waiting feel like courage, if it stayed with you longer than certainty ever could. Subscribe now for more deep-dive film documentaries that explore the quiet emotional truths hidden beneath cinema's most haunting stories. Because the most honest films don't give answers. They sit with the question.